Welcome back, I'm Alastair, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Mount to Coast H1. The Mount to Coast H1 is a hybrid or road to trail daily trainer that tips the scales more towards being a road shoe than a trail shoe. So it's not pretending to be an all-mountain trail shoe at all. In fact, actually favors road runners. So if you do maybe 70% of your runs on road and 30% on light trail or gravel, that kind of stuff, the H1 is probably the shoe you're after. Having this incredibly durable circle cell midsole foam with a sustainability focus and being priced at $160, the H1 definitely hits different. Okay, let's kick off with the key specifications. They cost $160 and I will let you know by the end of this review if I believe they're worth that price tag. They weigh 8.6 ounces or 244 grams, and that's for a size US men's 9, my pair. If you don't know what that means, if that's just gone over your head and you don't know what to compare it to, well, it's actually very lightweight for a shoe in this category. It has a drop of 6mm, that's 35mm under the heel, and 29mm under the toe. The upper is really interesting. It's using a Kevlar-reinforced lower section for extra durability, and the top layer is using a jacquard mesh, which is very breathable but also very durable too. And there's 360-degree reflectivity all the way around this shoe. You can see it either side of this lacing system here. There's reflectivity. This little section here that says tuned fit, and the big logos are all reflective, so you're going to be seen at night. The midsole is using 100% renewable circle cell supercritical foam. This foam is incredibly durable and you get a really nice amount of compression from it and softness underfoot, but also you get that nice responsive pop. So it's got the perfect balance for anyone who does want to run on the roads a lot with this shoe, but also it doesn't compress so much that it's plush, so you do maintain control on light trails. And on the outsole, it is using VersaGrip, which has full coverage and those diddly little 2mm lugs. Cute. And some extra features include a little loop at the rear, which is for a gaiter if you do need to use one of those to stop debris getting in the shoe. And it is using tuned fit dual lacing setup. You can micro adjust at the front of a shoe, but also at the top if you do need to get better heel lock from the shoe, you can adjust that separately. When it comes to sizing and fit, they are true to size for the most part. They're true to size in length. They've got a nice wide toe box to allow for toe splay, which helps give you extra power when you're going up hills, or if you are navigating the trails, it helps to be able to move your toes and micro adjust your gait and stance as you're running. It also just feels more airy and comfortable and gives you extra space for swelling if you are going to be running for many hours out there on the trails. Then it's nice to have extra room to accommodate that. But one thing I do have to mention is the midfoot does feel a little narrow and sculpted. Yes, there are adjustments here, but the upper is still quite sculpted. So if you do have high volume feet or particularly wide feet, I don't think you're going to enjoy these that much. The arch felt a little bit too far forward for me. I don't know why that's happened, but I only really felt that when I first slipped them on and I started walking around in the shoes just to test them out. But on the run, that does certainly fade away. So I think it's just something that needs to be broken into your foot shape. Other than that, the step-in feel is fantastic. Classic Mount to Coast. I love all their shoes they've released so far. So they've had a 100% hit ratio for me, considering they're a fairly new brand. That's pretty incredible. The tongue is nice and padded. It's a good length as well. And the collars are very padded. The heel count is padded and comfortable. And overall, they're just very dreamy to slip your feet into. If you're enjoying this review so far, please give the video a like. Really appreciate it when you guys do that. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. And once you've done that, hit that notification bell. And that'll let you know as soon as new videos drop, because you're not going to want to miss what's coming up. And if you've had any experience running in the H1 hybrid running shoes, I want to get your thoughts and experiences in those comments down below. And if you've got a question about the H1 that maybe I didn't cover in this review, just drop it down below. I reply to everyone. You've made it to my performance review. I'm going to start by talking about the ride, because I think that is probably the most standout feature for me. It's what makes the H1 unique in a fairly crowded road to trail category. The circle cell foam is incredibly bouncy. It's got that Piba-esque feel, so very soft underfoot, but very springy and bouncy. It's also very durable like Piba. It does feel really good. It's very fun to run in, and it is definitely better tuned for the roads for sure because of that. It is oftentimes better to have a more balanced midsole when you are running on technical trails. That circle cell foam is fantastic. It's very bouncy, soft and cushy, but very responsive as well. And the geometry of the shoe is so that it has a nice rocker, which helps smooth out that transition from heel landing to toe takeoff, making it an exceptional road shoe for sure. And the fact the rocker isn't too intense does make it pretty good for the light trails as well. I would say this is a much better gravel shoe than a trail running shoe for reasons that I'm just going to mention it now. It's the outsole. The lugs just aren't deep enough. 2mm deep is cute, but it's not a real trail shoe. You're just going to be slipping around on any loose dirt, or if you've got any mud on your trails, then you're going to be skating around like you're on an ice rink. You have to stay in your lane with this shoe, know what it's best for, and use it for that. Now, if you're wondering where the H1 places on my best road to trail hybrid running shoes roundup, well, follow that link up there. That'll point you directly to that roundup. On there you'll see all my favorite or the best performing hybrids out there right now. And I do specify the balance of each one of those shoes, whether it's going to be 50-50 road trail, 70-30 favoring the road, or 70-30 favoring the trail. All that information's on there, so depending on how you like to run, you should fairly easily be able to find the best hybrid for you and your needs. But again, if you got any questions, just drop them in the comments. Moving on to the upper and the lacing system. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I've always said this, I find these dual lacing systems a little bit fiddly, and to be honest, a little bit unnecessary, because there are quite a few shoes out there who manage to get the perfect fit from just having one lacing setup, no problem. Now, I can see the appeal though if you are going to be running ultra distances and you do want to micro adjust throughout the run because your feet are swelling and contracting all the way through that journey, then having micro adjustments is going to be super critical for a lot of people out there in terms of comfort and being able to just keep on going without having to completely unlace the system and do all that nonsense. So it's going to be great for those who like to go ultra, but I think for most people it's just going to feel a bit unnecessary. And to be honest, I just do this bottom one up once and then I don't touch it ever again. It's just there. Sometimes I have to loosen it up to get my foot in the shoe, which can be a little bit annoying. Otherwise, it's not too offensive. It's also clearly very durable in the upper, and there's a good amount of breathability too. When it comes to the versatility of the pacing of the shoe, well, it's actually surprisingly fast. I found myself settling into a 4-minute 40 minutes per kilometer pace on the roads. That just seemed to be the most natural pace, which is actually quite fast for a daily trainer type shoe like this. So I was pleasantly surprised at how fast it feels underfoot, but I wouldn't go using this for intervals or for anything too high intensity like tempo runs. It's just not designed for that. Some people could probably do it and you probably wouldn't even notice, to be honest. This is really for longer distances, anyone who just wants to settle into that dreamy in the zone pace, or anyone who wants to do shorter trail loops or shorter road loops and pick up the pace a little bit. Then these are actually surprisingly versatile. Well, it's time for my final verdict. Are they worth $160? Yes, 100%. These are actually in my top 3 road to trail running shoes. Right now, these are going to be best suited for those who do 70% of their runs on the roads and 30% light trail and gravel. They're not the best for anything too technical or anything muddy or any loose dirt, and that's simply because of the outsole traction. I really wish Mount to Coast would have just increased the lug depth here, then they would have had an absolutely fantastic 50-50 road trail. But actually, in doing this, they are dominating the hybrid category for those who prefer a road shoe to a 50-50 road trail shoe. So maybe they made a really good choice there actually, and they are dominating that section of the category. It's super bouncy, very efficient and smooth on the run. Very responsive too. It's got a very comfortable upper, and it's got that dual lacing system if you do need to micro adjust because maybe your feet are a different shape to the average. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this review. Hope it gave you the insights you needed to decide whether or not the H1 is going to be the hybrid for you. If you've got any other questions at all, drop it on the comments down below and I'll get back to you. I reply to everyone. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.